Good morning, everybody. It's Brad at Yamaha Marine Center in Orange Park on Wells Road, right off of 295. Got another cool one for you today. Man, I like these boats. It is 2021 Pursuit Offshore 325. You've probably seen the 2019 video, but we have some updated equipment on this one, so it's cooler than the last time. Information on the boat: it is OS 325 offshore express style cabin boat. Good weekend machine, and actually fairly trailerable. The last couple of these we sold to people actually keep them on trailers and tow them around everywhere. Not that they're that easy to load and launch, but you can do it if you wanted to. The boat is MSRP on this one. $472, I believe, is MSRP. But check with your local dealer for pricing. Boat starts at $349 before any options. MSRP. Powered by twin 300 horsepower Yamahas. We'll cover that. Length overall is 34 feet 6 inches. Beam 10 foot 10, and it is a true 10 foot 10. We've had to measure several times to fit this thing on a lift. Oh, what other information can we provide you? 20-degree dead rise, 22 inches of draft, 16-gallon diesel tank, has a 9-foot 2-inch bridge clearance, and I believe that's before radar, so that adds about another 18 inches up there for you. 24-gallon live well, 18-gallon holding tank, rated for about 340 miles at cruise, which is 30 miles an hour. Wide open throttle should be somewhere around 47. And then we got a 30-gallon water tank on this thing as well. All the standard Pursuit equipment, offshore capable, really sturdy made boat, made to be offshore. We'll show you a couple of the finer points inside the boat, but outside the boat, very steep entry in the front. I don't know what kind of dead rise it is up here, but it's really steep, made to be offshore. Some decent flare coming up the whole side there to deflect more water. It's a little more round than the newer generation. Their boats coming out that have a really nice flare to them, but it still does a good job. Stays dry. Nice big windshield for weather protection up there with windshield wipers, so you don't have to worry about getting wet or anything like that. But bow thruster standard on all these boats, 32 feet and above. See it down there. She does a really good job. And then hull side windows, which are functional on both sides of the boat. That's really nice. Get some natural light coming in there. We'll go back to the transom so you can see the features back here. This boat is equipped with Helmmaster, which we've been putting pretty standard on most of our 32-foot boats and above, and that is your Helmmaster light there. It'll start flashing at you when Helmmaster's engaged. That way, if you got swimmers in the water, divers, they don't start hanging around the back of the boat. Underwater lights, full spectrum. If you haven't seen those things at night, they're pretty impressive. And then we got our Lenco electrically actuated trim tabs and your white Yamaha 300s with factory paint. Integrated Galley swim ladder right there. I think it's like a 6-step on this one. It might be an 8. Big Euro style transom platforms, very functional. If you like diving, this boat does it really well. You have access to both sides of the boat. As this one does not have a dive door on the side, it only has the transom access door on starboard side, but there is easier ways to get in the boat from the gunwale sides as well. You can see all your equipment over here. You got your vent for the blower, and then you got your city water and your shore power inlet. It is a 30 amp on this, so you got to do some power sharing depending on what kind of devices you're running. And this does have the latest and greatest Yamaha digital electric steering. It's not the integrated model like with the new XTOs coming out in a couple of months, but it is fly-by-wire all the way from the helm back to the engines. So this boat does have full boat control, which is part of that 4-step process that Yamaha is using now for their Helmmaster. You can see the canvas, custom canvas, custom made. That's another feature about Pursuit. They make everything in-house, so it's made specifically for this model, and custom installed at the factory on this boat. So we'll get this cover pulled off and go through the inside. All right, so in the cockpit of the boat, it gives you plenty of room to entertain and to fish. So you can see with the seats folded up, huge cockpit, plenty of room for several people to fish back here. Combing pads all along the sides of the boat, so you can use those to lean against, you know, because everybody catches big fish. And then when you do want to entertain, these seats pop out, and then the backrest comes up. It's a really nice feature. That way when you're seated back here running the boat, you feel like you're more inside the boat. And this one comes down to the port side is an option, so that one you don't have to have. So if you want more room, you know, for tool storage, gaffs, things like that, you can, or you know, dive tanks, you can leave that seat off. You don't have to get that one, so that is optional. Access from the gunnel of the boat, from the dock into the boat, or up the gunnel side to the front of the boat. And you can, I don't know if you can get an idea, I should have pulled this cover off, but the handrail is very close to the gunnel side here, coming out of the step, so you can get out of the boat even in a decent sea state and get to the front if you want. And then there's your diesel fill, fuel fill, big high bow rail to grab onto as you're headed to the front of the boat. And then courtesy lighting everywhere, which is nice. And then again, fishable, seats fold up, pretty easy. And then you got some more storage back here. All your batteries are housed underneath this container that is plumbed straight overboard. I don't know if you can see that, but that's one of the features I love about Pursuit, is their wiring harnesses are all custom made in-house. So it's not like they buy a harness in, and that way they can control the quality. It's all, you know, marine grade tinned copper, heat shrunk everywhere. The harnesses are self-extinguishing, so if there's a fire started, they're designed to put themselves out. And then the fishability is built into the boat as well. Like this big was 28 gallon live well. Fish boxes in the floor. Both of these fish boxes are macerated and insulated, so if you're not using them as fish boxes, you can use them as coolers. And they do have diaphragm pumps, but the big fish box, I mean, probably almost 48 inches long. And then back to the entertainment. So the grill is AC grill. It can only be powered on shore power or generator. And then sink. And we have some storage down here, grill control, and then AC outlet 110, so you can power, you know, blenders, stuff like that up here as you're entertaining. And then the old fillet and release can happen out there. Not that anybody ever does that. Rod holders, there's an optional rocket launcher you can put across the top. There's that nice integrated sure shade, the Garmin, I think it's an 18X HD radome up there, radar. You can see the isinglass enclosure for the drop curtain, and there's another one to fully enclose the bridge deck, so you can climate control the inside. Again, those combing pads, let's take a look in the bilge real quick, because that's another impressive area. You know, Pursuit being an engineering company that builds boats, is where you find a lot of this fit and finish in here. You know, all the pumps mounted up on the walls, out of water management. That's a fake floor in there. It's a liner, so your pumps underneath that liner there. All your water management is under there. All the unsightly things that you might see on other brands sitting up on top of the deck, like these pie plates for fuel tank access, they try to hide most of that stuff and then just leave the more attractive hardware up here, the stainless stuff. And then your Fisher Panda generator, which that's an option as well. ACs are an option, but you know, all this stuff we usually end up adding in the boat. Table stowage, your table leg is there, plugs in right there. Where the actual table is, I don't know. More storage here, little tackle center, that's nice. And then your MDP, all your battery direct current stuff right here. 2 switches, all your breakers, toilet, fridge, cockpit fridge. This is a insulated cooler here, and there's also an option for a freezer plate, which works really well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Upgraded stereo on this one, subwoofer. I think it's 6 speakers, 2, 4, maybe 4. I think I know this stuff by now. And then coming into the nice lounge seat for the companion. plenty of seating options. Captain's chair does turn if you wanted to face your guests over here. Garmin 315 with remote mic and speaker, and then twin 8612 XSVs. And again, everything being Yamaha, we have now the Yamaha autopilot, total boat control with the joystick, and then the EX Pinnacle with all the cool functions like single lever throttle. Oh, you can have a second station, neutral hold, all your individual trims up front here, and your speed control is built into the side of the Pinnacle now. So you can really dial in trolling speeds without having to actuate the throttles, besides putting them in gear. And then, like I said, standard bow thruster, and then an easy to read switch panel. And this one, as we do with most of these boats, put the sunshade, the Sure Shade product. So single motor, so you don't have two motors fighting against each other, and it does not bind like some other product out there that has two motors and two different telescoping poles. This has that bow system right there that you can see. Really cool option. It's pricey, but what isn't on a boat? And it's one touch too. A lot quieter, a lot quicker than other product. I don't know, I'm just impressed by that. I'm impressed easily. And then coming down into the cabin, the star of the show on this one. I don't think you have a screen on this one. On 355, I think they put a screen, but all real wood veneers. I forget what they're using where, but it is all mahogany. I think Kaya, Sapele, Wengay are all different woods that they're using in different areas of the boat. And then this one is the standard interior. I don't remember what they call it, but we can check the option sheet. Escape hatch for light. You got your screens on there, and then you got all your natural light coming through. Hull sides, port lights. A lot of natural light in here. I don't have any lights turned on, and it's pretty bright. So switches, easy to read, easy to get to. So you got all your lights, galley, reading lights, and then the table electrically actuates up and down. It's not fast, but at least you don't have to do it by hand anymore. And then the two cushions come together to form pretty much a queen size sleeper. Like I said, I have several clients that use this boat for the over the weekend and use it like a camper, and they report that it's pretty comfortable. Once you get 2 or 3 kids on it, it gets pretty cramped, but that's why they make bigger boats. TV, your AC panel for shore power, and Jenny, and you can see what the power sharing you have to do on here. So if you're running the grill and cockpit air, you'd have to switch over to run your stove and your water heater, and switch from gen to shore power. So everything's right here, easy to use. Voltmeter, generator controls, your alarm. So this is on the bilge pumps are always hooked up, and they're on the water witch system, which is actually hooked to the horn too. So if you hit the high water alarm, the external horn actually starts going off. So you're keeping the boat in the water to marina, it'll alert you to all of that. And then your 2 AC controllers are in there for the air condition, and then easy access behind this bad boy to get to all that clean wiring, like I was telling you, labeled everywhere. And you can see the connectors back there are all heat shrunk, and they're tinned, so even if you do get some corrosion on them, it's not going to creep back into the harness. Decent sized galley fridge, has a little freezer in it, got 3 drawers over there for storage, cooktop, microwave, sink, removable, so work surface, sink, more storage back there, and then your midship berth, and then your freshwater tank is under the access in here. You have some AC through holes, different stuff. Pretty easy to access once you move the mattress. And then that far back cabinet is where your battery charger is, your stereo amplifier, and then you can see you got some rod storage, flips down from the ceiling here. Again, this boat's kind of an SUV of boating, along with the dual consoles. This one more of an extended weekend type boat. It's an RV on the water. And then in the bathroom, glass bowl, and then your shower head pulls out of the sink there, so the head space on this one's a little bit smaller. Air conditioned heat vent, your lights, and then your toilet. But that's about it. It's a pretty boat. Should give us a call. Come on, take a look in person. Got some VIP events going on in the near future as well. So if you ever wanted to go to the factory to see how these things are made and really be impressed at how they build every piece of this boat on the lot, give us a call, 904-644-7631. Ask for Brad or Barton. Or you can always get us on the website at YamahaMarineJAX.com.